Hey guys, it's your resident online mortgage lender. And on today's video, we're going to talk about tips for first time home buyers. Before we get into it, I want to give you a lay of the land, if you will, as to who it is specifically we want to speak to, so that if you don't fall within the target, you don't have to waste your time. So, we're looking to speak to anyone between the ages of 18 and 55 years of age that are first time home buyers. That range may surprise some of you, but the numbers show for a myriad of reasons that first time home buyers ages are increasing, and it is what it is. So we want to make sure we speak to everyone that may fall within that cohort, right? Why am I making the video? It's to provide a plan of action for those of you that are first time home buyers so that you can take action. The internet is a great place. However, or should I say, unfortunately, with that medium, there's a lot of information. Not all good, not all bad. But at the end of the day, it causes a lot of confusion. And so that's why I'm making the video so that you can have some actionable steps so that you can move forward. Lastly, before we get started, please ask questions. This is how I know what type of information that you want. Contrary to popular belief, I don't make these videos for me. I want to help you achieve your home ownership goals in the residential space. Okay. So if you will, please ask questions or let me know what topics you would like further information on so that ultimately you can get in the game. So, with that said, and without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, let's do this and go here. Well, let's do this. So, I want to start this video off. Let's go to the beginning, right? First time home buyer tips. There'll be five. And number one is research your local market. Real estate is a local situation. And again, a lot of the information that you hear online deals from a 10,000-foot view, okay, a national view to get attention. But at the end of the day, where you're going to buy your local real estate market is the one that you need to be on top of. You need to know uh, what the numbers say there. So, tip number one, and a lot of people look over this, but research your local market, right? And understand the basics of the home buying process. Okay. Uh, you can follow this channel. There's a playlist at the end of the video that could give you some more tips as to what the home buying process is. But number one to me is understanding your local market. There are several tools that you could use: Zillow, Redfin, a local realtor. However, I would say this: if you are not ready to buy, or if you're not buying with cash and you've not been properly pre approved, I would not approach a realtor just yet. Number two, get pre approved for a mortgage loan so you know exactly how much house you can afford. Okay. Another step that is put in the wrong place. Again, if you're buying cash, by all means, reach out to that local real estate expert and get an understanding of the market and move forward. In these days and times, if you're needing to leverage, get a loan, the good news is there are several options available, several updates that have been made within the last 6 months from the recording of this video to help deal with some of the barriers that first time homebuyers are dealing with, such as student loans, such as lowering the cost of the monies, even in a higher interest rate environment, to make it more accessible to those that fall within that first time homebuyer cohort, especially if you fall within a certain income range in your local area. Okay. That's what your lending professional will help you ferret out. And more importantly, make sure that you're properly approved, all the documentation with a full approval, so that when you're going to shop, you could do so with confidence, and your lending professional can work with your local real estate professional, your realtor, so that you can achieve your goals. Number three, make a list. Check it twice. No, I'm just joking. You want to make a list, right, of must haves, right? And then your nice to haves. Got to prioritize them. What do I mean by that? A lot of first time home buyers, especially if you're on the younger end of the spectrum, this is not going to be your only home. Okay. This is the first time. So, one thing that I see a lot with a lot of our clients, what they need help with is setting proper expectations. Okay. And so the name of the game is get in where you fit in. Okay. There's no competition. It's getting on the property ladder, because in this country, owning real estate, your primary, is 2/3 of most Americans' wealth. That's where it comes from. That's where it's derived from. Okay. So, not saying that you have to own, and this is not one of those videos. This is a video for those that want to buy. Okay. And say, hey, I'm ready to buy, but get in where you fit in, and understand that your entry level is not necessarily where you're going to end up, if that makes sense. So, make a list. Okay. Prioritize it for things that you must have. You know, to me, schools, commute times, things of that nature. A lot of things that people don't think about, right? Commute, amenities, and then things into the home, because ultimately the number one goal of the home is shelter, and for you and your family to grow, stability, and to build memories. So, enough said about that one. Let's move on. Uh, Perfect segue, right? You want to consider the neighborhood and its amenities, school districts, walkability, public transportation, things of that nature. Again, you're so excited about getting a home. We're so focused and fixated on the upgrades and the features and things in the home, you forget about the community where you're going to live. So consider those things while you're putting together your plan of action to become a homeowner. Last and most definitely not least, you have to understand and remember to factor in the total cost of ownership. I love this point. I love this last point, because too many times with a lot of the online things and the marketing that is done to you as a potential buyer, it's just the pros, 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 pros. And it those advertisements aren't realistic as to the maintenance and the overall cost. Because in life, in anything that you do, there's a cost. There's a cost of ownership when it comes to home. So you want to make sure that your numbers include the taxes that are associated with the home, insurance, HOA, and just overall general upkeep and maintenance. Because remember, guys, it's an investment. Okay. It's an investment. So those are the 5 things that I would recommend for you as a first time home buyer to consider as tips. Now, if you like this video and like to know when we come on and want to watch what we have going forward, I want to invite you to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Okay, you got my word. We won't come to you with a bunch of garbage, but we really try to think out what we do over here so that we can be a help to the community. That's why I want to ask again before we get out of here. Ask your questions. Put them in the comment section. I read every one of them. I'll respond. Uh, and so I thank you in advance for doing so. So that is it for now. My time is up, but I thank you for yours. Hey guys, let's be good to one another. Let's let grace abound. And until the next time, peace.